Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Bryce with BIS Media, and today I'm going to be going over the Sony X800M2 settings, just kind of going in depth about what they all offer, which you can all switch up on this player itself. And starting right off the bat, we're going to be looking here at the menu itself. It's pretty self-explanatory. That's the great thing with this player is it's simple, it's up front, it's nothing too complicated to figure out or anything by any means. And so just looking at it here, of course, it shows there's no disc right now. So whenever you have a disc and you press stop, it will say the name of the movie. If it's a Blu-ray disc, DVD, 4K, it will show that there. You can plug in a USB and you can play files off that if you would like to. There is a media server option. So if you have a network server that you have set up with your home internet and you want to share different, files, if you want to do music, videos, you can play it through there if you'd like to. I did not have that set up where there's anything shared like that, so I can't really show you guys that part. And then there is also the setup part here, and we're gonna go ahead and get into that and just kind of go through all of the different settings you can switch up. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in so that way you guys can see it, and then we will get started. All right, we are now in the settings themselves. First up on the list being the software update. So you can update the software either by the internet or by USB memory. If you want to go to Sony's website and download it, then you definitely could. There's accessibility settings, and what that does is it's going to have an accessibility for either to be able to enlarge text, auto scroll for any kind of text, and then also has an accessibility shortcut if you want to add that to the menu. It does have a screen reader setting too, so if you needed to turn on a screen reader to be able to read off all the different menu options, you can. I don't think a lot of 4K players have that out there, so I think that's great they did include this. Then you can have all kinds of settings for that as well. There's a lot of different screen settings you can go through. So there's a Bravia mode, and that's going to be, if you have a Sony TV, then you can turn that on, and it's supposed to be like optimized for your Sony. I don't have a Sony TV, so I just turn that off. There is the HDR output, and so with this, you have to set this to auto if you want to be able to play Dolby Vision, and I talked about this a little bit in the review itself that I did on this player, and I think that is one of the cons of this player is you have to have this set to auto, because if you have it set off, then it's not going to be able to put any HDR output out at all, and then you also have to go to Dolby Vision and turn it on, and then if you turn it on, it's going to play for every single thing you play back unless you turn it off each time. So if you're trying to play for like Blu-rays or like DVDs, it will try to output it as Dolby Vision, but the problem is the motion and the colors and stuff do not look good. So I would highly recommend you just either switch it on or off each time you want to. It's kind of a hassle, but at least it plays Dolby Vision. That's great, but it is a hassle having to do that every single time. Next up, you can do display type, TV or projector. Output video resolution, you can just set it to auto, or you can go through all the different resolutions. You can set it to one solely if you wanted to. 24p video signal. You can just kind of tell it if you want to auto or off. And then we have the 4K upscale settings. So you can do auto 1 or auto 2. It does not really say what the differences are between those. So you might have to do a little bit more research to see, or just set it to auto 2 and just see if it seems to change anything. It's kind of weird. It doesn't have any kind of description, so that's not very helpful. And then you can change the color space conversion if you wanted to on the HDMI. So it's just set to auto. You can put it in 422 or 444 or just RGB. And a lot of people like to switch that up, so it's another option for you. You can turn on or off the deep color output. I would always set that to auto, just that way you can get the best color options. IP content, so just the video quality for internet content. If you're going to be using this for the Prime Video, Netflix, or YouTube, I would either just set it to auto or set it to strong, because obviously you want the best quality that you can. You can set the 3D auto or 3D output settings to either auto or off. Unfortunately, I do not have a TV that is capable of 3D, but if you have a projector that still does that, now I would definitely be on auto for that. And then you can also set your TV screen size for the 3D. So if you have that projector, that's when you can go ahead and put in your screen size in inches. TV type, either 16:9 or 4:3 for the screen aspect ratio. There's a screen format itself. You can either put it in normal or full if you just want to change the different aspect ratio. DVD aspect, you can either put it in the letterbox or the pan and scan. It's completely up to you if you wanted to mess with that. Cinema conversion mode. This is set the conversion mode for a video or film material, either auto or video. And then the pause mode, set the video picture display mode during pause. You can either do it just by auto or by frame. It just depends on if you really care about messing with that. I just leave mine at auto. I don't usually pause it for very long, so it just kind of stays on the screen and then kind of goes blank after a while, or turn itself off. Next up, we have the audio settings. There's a little bit different things you can do here. You can set whether to output bitstream signals or output PCM signals. Mine is on PCM. You can always switch it to auto too. Just depends on your setup. If you have it, or just hooked straight up to the TV, or if you're going to be setting this up on a surround sound with a receiver, it's completely up to you if you want to switch those up or just a soundbar. There's a DSD mode, set audio mode for output from HDMI when playing DSD format. You can turn it off or on, but PCM cannot be turned on. And there's the Blu-ray disc secondary audio. If enable or disable secondary audio output, set the setting to off and set digital audio output to auto to output bitstream signals such as Dolby True HD. Turn off or on. DTS Neo 6, you can turn that off. Music or cinema, so different ways you can output that. Let's see, set the PCM output signal from digital out. You can do 48 kilohertz, 96 or 192. And there is the DSE EHX upscale existing sound source to near high resolution sound quality. You can turn that off or on. I think that'd be an interesting setting to be able to check out. I haven't personally tried that, but I think it would be pretty nice to be able to see how well it does upscale some low quality sound. So I think it'd be kind of cool to check that out. There's the audio DRC. Set the sound effect when playing a Blu-ray disc or DVD. Set to auto. I haven't even noticed the sound effect, so I'm not sure exactly what it's talking about because I played multiple discs and I haven't heard any sound effects at all, so I'm not sure what it's meaning. And then the down mix. Set whether to apply Dolby Surround to the output audio signal. So you can either do stereo or surround, just depending on your setup. And then moving on, we have the Bluetooth settings. This is pretty easy to set up. This is if you just want to be able to stream maybe some music or something like that from your phone or your computer onto the Blu-ray player itself. Just go to device list, and then it's going to start scanning for any devices in the area. Pretty easy to do. I have not used the Bluetooth feature in here. I don't think a lot of players actually have this, so it is a pretty cool thing to be able to go through there as well. Then there is the Blu-ray disc DVD viewing settings. There's a few different things. So you can change the menu language from either English or another option. Audio language, you can either have it original with the disc, or you can actually force it to just all be English, all French, Spanish, so forth. Subtitle language, that's going to be defaulted to English, or if you're in a different country, it's going to be defaulted to your main language as well. If you have a Blu-ray disc hybrid disc playback layer, you can either change it to do the Blu-ray portion or the DVD CD. You can allow or do not allow the internet connection for Blu-ray disc. I don't ever use that on there. I mean, I allow it, but I don't ever play that stuff back. It's just always something you turn off if you want. You can delete the Blu-ray disc data if you have a USB stick that just kind of keeps track of anything on the web that you're going to be doing from the disc. Or some different settings, so you can delete that from there. And the DVD audio playback, you can either do DVD audio or DVD video. Then there is parental control settings as well. You can either do a password, and then you can also do all kinds of restrictions for either internet, DVD, or Blu-ray. So if you're a parent or you're getting this for a kid, then this might be something that you want to keep track of, and you can set that password and all those kind of restrictions there. Next up, we have music settings. So this is going to be for the Super Audio CDs. And you can either change the playback layer to be Super Audio CD or just a regular CD. Or you can also set the playback channel itself to DSD multi or just a 2-channel, depending on your setup as well. Next up, we have the system settings. And you have the main language. It's going to be defaulted to whatever your main language is in your country. So mine is English. This does have also a closed caption settings, so you can actually change up how the closed captions look on the screen, which I think is great. You can change the font, the character size, color, the opacity, like the edge of the text, edge color, background opacity, the window color, and window opacity. So I think that's great that you're able to do that. me and my wife, we watch everything with subtitles. She got me into doing that. And so it's great that you can actually switch that up and make it where it's a little bit easier to see too. Next up, we have also the HDMI settings. So you can either have the control for HDMI off or on if you want to be able to do that and be able to use like your TV remote. I think that's a great option to do. The link to TV off, turn off this unit when the connected TV enters standby mode, invalid or valid if you want to do that. HDMI audio output is either set to auto, or you can tell it to do HDMI 1 or 2 because there is 2 different HDMI jacks on this player itself, so you can switch it up if you wanted to. Quick start mode, you can reduce the start time when powering on the device. I leave mine on. This instantly turns on when you hit the power button, so I think that's great. Auto display, I display info when switching audio modes or during playback, so you can switch it up if you want to. The software update notification, whenever there is a new software version, you can tell that to say on just whenever you want it to notify you. You can switch the device name, the system information, and there's the software display license information as well. And then scrolling down, we have the network settings. So you can go through here and you can just basically set up your internet connection. This is usually one of the first things that you can set up, but this is just something you can go through there and check at any time. Then there is also the easy setup. So that's when you basically just restart it and go from there. Or you can go ahead and reset the whole device. So that's just something that you can erase it if you're about to sell it. Or maybe you just want to reset it because it's having some kind of issues, or you just want to reset all your settings, then you're definitely welcome to do that. So with that being said, guys, that is all of the settings for this player. And like I said before, when I was talking about the internet video quality, this have Netflix, Prime Video, or YouTube built into this player. But like I said, I think this is pretty straightforward on how to use this player. So if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments. Do you use this player? Do you use all the settings that it does come with? Definitely let me know down in the comments. I'd definitely be interested to hear what your thoughts are. All right, guys, with that being said, that is all this video. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.